Hello and welcome to my small space here in YouTube. My name is Elena and I just want to introduce myself to this very first video, and I hope you'll keep watching. So this channel is dedicated to my love of eyeshadow palettes, and I started getting into makeup during the pandemic, and I think it kind of got a little out of hand, and it became a bit too much, and I was overwhelmed with the amount of makeup that I have. I came up with this system where I give myself permission to have 21 eyeshadow palettes, and only 21 eyeshadow palettes. Well, not really. I'll explain it as I go, but I have a main collection of 21 eyeshadow palettes for 12 months, so for a year, and it is composed of different categories that I want for myself or for my collection to have. And then I have some exceptions because I'm still a collector, so I have that kind of sections within my collection, and I'm going to go through it with you guys with an overhead shot, so hopefully that's okay. Alright. By the way, that's Moose, and I think we'll see him a lot in my videos, so yeah. Alright, so first category is everyday palettes, and these are where my cool tones and my neutrals are. Enduring Love palette in Light by Sydney Grace, and this is actually probably one of my oldest eyeshadow palettes, and I think I'm gonna keep it forever. If I'm being honest, I do love cool tones, and this is my perfect everyday cool tone. Super wearable and is really flattering on my skin tone. Next is a new one in my collection by Lunar Beauty. Their new Full Fantasy palette. I've used it once. So far, so good. I think I got really drawn to the color story. I love mauves, maroon type of colors together with greens, olives, and some neutrals. I think the only downside of this palette is that it has too much gold shimmers, and it starts to look similar on the eyes. Other than that, I'm still testing this palette out. And the last is by Blend Bunny. The Dollhouse palette. At first I thought I wouldn't like this palette as much as I like it now. I think the reason is that the gradient seems like really not that special, but once you use the palette on your eyes, it's really amazing actually. if you do love these tones, I do recommend. Next category is spring palettes. So I have here the Bunnies palette by Unearthly Cosmetics. I am an Unearthly Cosmetics fan, so you will probably see a lot of palettes from them in my collection. And this is actually a custom palette that I created. So I changed the blue shades from this palette, and I think a pink one, and I added the purples from Leather and Lace, and this shimmer is also from Leather and Lace. Next is a palette that is no longer available because the brand closed down. This is the Beginning palette from Oterera Beauty, I believe. It's a French brand, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it from Belgium? I forgot. But this is, aside from the fact that it's its packaging is a bit weird, the shades in this palette are wearable and also, you know, with a bit of fun, because you have colors and some colored shimmers, so you can use this for day and night. And yeah, I really love the looks that I was able to come up with this. And the last, we have a custom palette again from natashadenona. I created this custom palette using Retro, My Dream palette, and Retro Glam, and some from the Pastel. I think this is my perfect My Dream palette if I will create one. Next, we have my summer palettes. First, we have the new natashadenona Yucca palette. To be honest, I prefer to call it Yucca. I've used this once. Love the look that I came up with. I love the shimmers, which is her new formula, and I cannot wait to use this palette more. I used to have the Gemini palette, but I decided to declutter that because I found that yeah, some of the shades are a bit duplicate with this one. Next, another one from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is their Surrender palette, but this is a custom one. I added here shades, the shimmer shades from Heather Austin's collab of Resurgence palette. It's this one, this one, and this one, and this one as well. So those 4 are from the Resurgence palette. I've used this once, but not with the combination of the Resurgence shades, so can't wait to use this one. And last for my spring palette, oh sorry, summer, is the new Sugar and Grunge from blendbunnycosmetics. Haven't used this one, but really excited to. Next category is fall. These are my fall palettes. This one is again a custom one, so I really love customizing things. This is a custom palette from Melt Gemini 1 and 2. So the greens are from Gemini 1, the reds are from Gemini 2, and she's in parties for the purples that we have here. I really love the looks that I came up with this. Next is another custom palette. Mainly we have shades here from glaminatrixcosmetics Into the Night palette, and then a combination of the Halloween palette by Shroud Cosmetics. I used this palette once, and I also really liked the look I came up with it. Last in this category is my custom arrow inspired palette by adeptcosmetics. And Adept is known for their shimmers, and that's why I kept most of the shimmers. I combined this with the House of L shimmers, so these 4. And then I kept the mattes from the inspired palette. Haven't used this a ton, and I think I should. Next, we have here my winter palettes. First off, we have from Odenseye Cosmetics their Jewels and Gem palette. Haven't used this as well. I should use this since, yeah, we're heading into fall and winter, so we'll probably use it then. Next we have the Rose Metal palette by ABH. I wasn't a fan of the old ABH palettes, but really the color story of this one just speaks to me. I don't know why. I think maybe it's the deep shimmers, the tones of the mattes are really, yeah, they really suit me. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes in this video. I'm still contemplating if I will declutter this, but I don't think I can, to be honest. Last palette for the winter category, and it is the very heavy and very expensive Divine Rose one. So I decluttered this palette and then I purchased it again because of this shade right here. And I do not regret it. Next, I have the Viseart Petites palette. So I said earlier in the video that I have exceptions, and Viseart is one of them. So I can have 21 palettes in total in my, let's say, main collection, and then another 3 for my exception brand. We can say that this is my bias or my wild card, and I think Viseart is an underrated brand that is, to be honest, really pretty. It really works for mature skin. You won't have the shimmers with that you can get from indie brands, but they are pretty and flattering on the eyes. So I mixed the Sultry Muse, Koi, and the neutral mattes, and I made my own like trio here. Okay, last but not the least, I call them my untouchables because I will never get rid of this. This is Unearthly Cosmetics 2022 Halloween collection. This one is the, what is this? The Weirdos palette, which I think is taken from the movie The Craft, which I also really love. Next is the So Strange palette, which I think is from the movie Beetlejuice. I also have never used this palette, but I am dying to try it. Love the artwork. I probably bought this just for the artwork. And last is the Warms My Blood palette. Which is from, I forgot the movie. The one with Aaliyah. So yeah, these three will never leave my collection. Hi Moose! And there's Moose. So there you have it, my entire eyeshadow palette collection. So why 3 in every category? It's because it's easier for me to look at them in my phone. I think with this system I can better manage and organize my eyeshadow palettes, and yeah, it's not gonna be overwhelming for me. And of course I still want to try a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so I am going to be ruthless with what I keep in my collection. I will still have some first impressions, but mostly in my channel I will have 5 looks or multiple looks, 1 palette, because I really want to test out the eyeshadow palettes that I will keep. And yeah, since I have limited space in my collection, I really want to make sure that what I will keep I will be using. I will probably not include the Unearthly Halloween palettes every time, because yeah, I will never get rid of these. The Viseart one, I think they will come and go, but I will always have a Viseart row in my collection. So I still have my Unearthly Cosmetics eyeshadows in my main collection, but those will go to my exceptions. And I do have some new palettes coming my way, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting how I'm gonna shuffle those around in my collection. So at the end of the month, I'm planning to do like a monthly roundup / declutter of things that I will keep or I will rehome, or whether I created custom palettes so that I can keep some of the shades. Yeah, that will come in a later video. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed my first ever video. If this is something you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!